Thank you, Chairman.
Disappeared. I didn't see where you went.
I was sitting in my assigned seat. So thank you, Chairman Brown, members of the board. In December, when we went to Cottonwood for the meeting, Congressman Gosar was not able to go and sent a letter. I would like to, for those that may have missed some of that, I'd like to read some of that. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to address the issue of our God-given right to self-defense. Our founding fathers were brilliant people who understood that every person has a right to defend themselves, their families, and their country. The right to self-defense can involve the right to defend against violent criminals. It can also mean the right to defend our communities from an oppressive government. History teaches us that both of these events occur, and the people have a right to be ready when and if they do. I voted my support to the Mojave County Supervisors when they passed a similar resolution. Here's why. There are people in Arizona and in Washington, D.C. who truly want to stop Americans from being able to defend themselves. They are the tired trope of gun violence as their cudgel, while ignoring all other forms of violence, and they ignore this realism. When confronted by the bad guy with a gun, the only hope for self-defense will be another person with a gun. Rocks and sticks won't cut it. If the gun-grabbing leftists want to address crime and violence in this country, we are ready to talk real solutions. Strict, harsh, and certain criminal punishment for violent criminals is a standard that history shows works. What can equalize the strength disparity between a 110-pound woman and a 220-pound attempted rapist? Her gun. What can equalize the strength disparity between a 75-year-old retiree and the two youthful thugs entering a residence for a home invasion? Her gun. The list is endless. Self-defense is necessary, and it is our right. Today we face aggressive, loud, and irrational people who want to ban guns and leave gun ownership only in the hands of the government. The same government they complain is racist, oppressive, unfair, incompetent, and overbearing. The same government they claim shoot unarmed or innocent people. These gun-grabbing leftists are well-funded by billionaires and oligarchs. These billionaires live behind gated communities protected by armed guards and travel with armed guards and bulletproof vehicles. They pay for their security but want you to be helpless. They can push off. In its current form, Congressman Gosar does not support this proclamation. All this says is the United States has a Second Amendment and that the supervisors support that in the abstract. In light of sustained and well-funded attacks on this right, and in light of promises by some politicians to confiscate self-defense weapons and ban private ownership of guns, this proclamation is meaningless. I encourage the board to go back to the drawing board and focus on how so-called red flag laws will impact law-abiding citizens. Focus on the efforts by many to ban guns and confiscate guns. What the people need to know is whether the board will help take away guns or reject those efforts. Thank you.